it's Jenna. Welcome back to my channel where I post home decor hauls, DIYs, and interior design inspiration. I am super excited for today's video because we are doing 3 super easy air dry clay projects. And you do not need to be an expert crafter to execute any of these. They're very simple, but I feel like they still look very high end. All of these would make really great gifts since, you know, Christmas is coming up. It's also very simple because we're using air dry clay. I love working with air dry clay because you don't need to bake it and there's no complicated mess like that. All you have to do is like set it out to dry for a couple of days. Everything today will be made with this Crayola air dry clay. I got this guy off of Amazon for $28, I think, and that's pretty crazy considering I bought like a vase for more than that, and this has lasted me forever. I've used it for a lot of different projects and I still have like over half of it left. So it comes with, I'll show you guys, it comes with like 4 mounds. As you can see, I've used like 1.5, and these are like the big mounds, and I'm telling you guys, this is a lot of clay. So if you're ready to clay it up, if you're ready to have some clay time, if you're ready to work hard, clay hard, all work, no play. We are using clay, so that one doesn't really apply. Anyway, I'll stop with a stupid joke. But yeah, this is super easy, you guys. It's very inexpensive. And our last project is actually going to be a Pottery Barn dupe, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Handmade ceramics are very in right now, and that's kind of the look we are going for. So with that being said, let's get into today's video. All right, you guys, so I just took a ball of clay here and I'm just gonna roll it out as flat as I can. As you can see, I used some parchment paper just to like protect my table. And I'd say I rolled it out to like a medium thickness, not too thin, but not too thick. And I just took my knife and cut across here. It's okay if it's not like perfectly straight, but try to get it as straight as you can. Next, I just took a acrylic paint bottle wrapped in saran wrap, and I wrapped my little like piece around it. And this is kind of what it's going to start off drying on, so it doesn't stick to anything and it can kind of easily slide off. Okay, so next we're actually gonna take a bowl of water and just kind of dip our fingers in it and smooth everything out so it's nice and even. Okay, something very important about this project is you only wanna let the clay sit on these acrylic paint holders for like an hour or 2 because the clay shrinks as it dries, and I actually had some crack because they fully dried on there, and we don't want that happening to you guys. So definitely make sure that you only let it do like an hour or 2 on the paints and then move it to like a counter or something. Okay, so after letting those guys dry for about 2 days, I'm just gonna take some white acrylic paint and coat the whole napkin holder, and this will kind of be our base. You could totally skip this step if you wanted your napkin holder to be like a more natural clay tone. I just wanted mine to be a bit more white, but it actually helps the watercolor blend in a little bit more if you don't do the acrylic paint because it's kind of like a sealer, so just keep that in mind. Okay, so we're just gonna take the shades Pewter Gray and Blue Cotton and just kind of mix them together. I wanted like a blue-gray shade, so I first mix this with some water. The water is what's going to give us like a watercolor effect. And then additionally to our bowl that we just mixed up, we're going to have a cup of water, and this is just gonna help us like create like different shades. So you can see first I just basically dipped it in water, and that was even kind of too strong, so I picked up some more water to water it down because I was going for like more of a light wash as a first coat, and then we can build upon that after. So I just kind of paint the whole thing going around, making sure to get that little crease and just leaving a little rim of white at the top. And there you can kind of see our finished first light coat. And then I'm actually just gonna go back in with just the paint mixture, no water this time, and kind of dab on in a random pattern so it looks natural and very like watercolor-like. And then to finish it off, we're gonna take this Krylon Triple Thick Crystal Clear Glaze. This is what kind of gives it that faux ceramic look and makes it look super shiny. I will link everything below, but you just wanna make sure you get the insides as well and let it dry completely before turning it over and doing the other side. And there you have it, guys. We have this beautiful faux ceramic watercolor napkin holder, perfect for any dinner party. All right, you guys, so next we're just gonna take a big ball of clay and roll it out till it's like medium to thick thickness. This can be kind of an irregular shape since we're going for that handmade ceramic look. Once you get it all rolled out, we're gonna flip it over and actually use it on the other side since that will be the more flat side to work with. And next we're just gonna take some more clay and kind of roll a long cylindrical edge here. And like I said, it's okay if this is not perfectly the same size all the way around. We are going for that like kind of boho handmade look. So it's okay. I think you would like honestly have a really hard time if you tried to get it the exact same width around the whole time. So it's kind of fun to just like play with it and, you know, fill in where you need to. So we're going to do that all around this little like base here. So my camera died on me and I didn't get me like filming, smoothing everything out, but you really just take water and keep like blending everything to make sure it's all seamless. I let that dry for like 3 to 4 days. Not gonna lie, it seemed like it took forever, but it's just part of the process. So then I took some acrylic paint and gave the whole base of this guy a nice coat. So I only did do 1 coat. That was totally enough. But you do want to make sure that all of your brush strokes are going in the same direction here and they're not going all over the place, because that will kind of like show up later. Next, I just took some black acrylic paint and started dotting all over the place. You could use like a splatter technique, but I was just not brave enough to do that and wanted to have some control. I started just dotting everything all over to give it like that speckled ceramic look, and you just want to make sure you vary all of your dots in sizes so they look natural. And next we're just going to take my holy grail of paints, the Waverly Chalk in shade Mineral, and paint that all over the edge to give it that like faux ceramic look. And then we're just going to top it off with that clear glaze to give it the ceramic finish, and that's about it, you guys. And there you have it, a super cute decorative tray. I would use this like to style like maybe hand soaps in a bathroom, or maybe like your dish soaps in the kitchen, or for jewelry, or just like somewhere to keep your makeup, something like that. All right, you guys, so first I'm just taking chunks of the clay and rolling them into like balls the size of like a golf ball, and it's okay if it takes a little while to get it, you know, circular. It kind of takes a little bit of working with the clay, as you can see here. Use your table, use your thumbs, and like I said, with most of these projects, it's okay if it's not like a perfect circle, if it's a little irregular. I like that look personally, so don't like kill yourself to get it into a perfect sphere, but just shoot for like a generally circular shape. Also, I'm a big old dummy and I forgot to record myself poking the holes here, but I did do it with just like a regular pencil, and I made sure that they were big enough for like several pieces of twine to be put through. But that's about it, and we're gonna have them dry here for like 2 to 3 days till they're dry like all the way through. All right, you guys, so next we're just gonna take a can of gray spray paint and coat these guys. I did 1 coat on one side and then let them dry and flip them over and did the other side. It is kind of hard because they are circles, but you don't need to get them like perfectly covered, because we are going to be going over with like even more paint, which you'll see in a second. Also, does anybody else feel like they need to hold their breath when they're watching spray paint on camera? I do it like every time and I feel like I'm crazy. All right, now that everything is nice and dry, we are going to take 3 different colors of acrylic paint. I have like a light, a medium, and a dark, and we're just gonna pat that on there with a sponge to create like kind of a faux stone look. And it really helps when you have these like 3 different like varying colors to create contrast, and it kind of gives these little balls like an aged stone look. I don't know if you guys noticed, but I actually switched sponges to this guy, and I feel like this works so much better because it had like little spaces to allow the dark color to show underneath, which really kind of made it look more realistic. When we're patting on here, you don't want to like go too hard. Like, they're very light pats because it kind of then creates like a layered effect, which makes it look more realistic. I know I'm going to get questions about these sponges, and I actually got them at Ross for like $2. I was just browsing the art decor section and they were there, so I snagged them. But I have seen them at Michael's, Hobby Lobby, and Joann's. They're just like 2 to 3 times the price, but I'll try to link something similar below. Just get your coupons ready, guys. But I do feel like this specific sponge is like the golden ticket to making these things look so realistic. So here's all of the beads set out to dry, and I'm super proud because I do actually feel like they look like real aged stone. All right, you guys, so next I just took an acrylic sealer and I made sure that it was the matte one because I wanted to still make it look like that aged stone, and I feel like a shiny gloss would kind of take away from that. So I just did a coat on each side, let it dry, and turned it over. Just wanted to like seal everything in so it was protected. Okay, so next we're just gonna take this thing of twine and cut 4 long strings of about 6
feet each. You could do less or more depending on how big your holes are in your beads, but 4 was the perfect amount for mine. Okay, so next we're just gonna start tying our beads onto the twine, and I tied a knot in between each little bead, and when I tied my knot, I kind of like pressed against the bead to make sure that there was no space for the bead to like move around or anything. But I did this with all 15 beads, and even though I pressed against the beads while making the knots, I did just want to make sure that I didn't tie my knots too tightly. I wanted to give them like a little bit of a chunky look, so I left them as like loose as I possibly could while still being tight against the other beads. And as you guys can see here, this thing is really coming along and really starting to look like this beaded string from Pottery Barn. Okay, so next we're just gonna start making our tassels, and we're just gonna start by wrapping a bunch of this twine around your fingers, and it doesn't all have to be super even, but I kind of wanted my tassel to be a little bit longer, so I used the spread finger technique. You could also use like a book or something else, but I was too lazy. Okay, so now that we have our little circle of twine, we are going to just tie a tiny string around this. I tied it pretty tight, but you want to make sure that the knot is on the inside so you can't see it. And then you just tie that. I tied it twice so it didn't come undone. And next we're just going to take a scissors and kind of cut everything at the opposite end at the bottom. If you have better scissors than these, I definitely recommend using them. This was all I had because our scissors are actually packed for our move, so I had to work with what I got. I just cut a couple at a time and it was all right. But it doesn't matter if they're even or anything because we're going to make sure they're all flush at the end. Also, you just might want to readjust your top knot thing so it is in the center. Also, I just wanted to show you guys, I tied a little bit more twine around right underneath there to make kind of a little head on our tassel. I just made sure that it was really tight and I wrapped it around a bunch of times, and then I just tied a knot with each end, and that was that. Also, right after this part, I did trim everything on the end to make it even down at like the bottom of the tassel part, but I forgot to film that part, so I just wanted to let you know, but it's pretty self-explanatory. Also, just wanted to say that these tassels are totally optional. In the Pottery Barn one, they actually don't have tassels at the end, but I just felt like it made it look a little bit more high-end and fancy. But it's totally up to you guys if the tassels are worth the hassle. All right, you guys, so now we're just going to attach our tassel. And as you can see, I just pulled 2 of those strings through our little loop at the top, and I left the other 2 out. And then we're just gonna tie both of those ends together. You wanna make sure that this knot is very tight, and I think I do it a couple more times with just like taking different strings and attaching them, like random ones, just so there's not really a way for this to come undone. And then we just trim off the excess, and that's it. Your tassel is attached, super easy. And then we're just going to repeat that whole thing on the other side, so you have 2 tassels at the end. And I don't know, I just really like the look of the tassels. I think it really adds a little something extra and was worth the extra hassle. And there you guys have it. I love the way this aged stone beaded rope came out. It's crazy to think that it was just made with air dry clay. You could style this on a stack of books or around a vase, maybe like kind of even in a bowl or something, just to add a little bit of interest into your home decor styling. There's so many ways that you can use these, so you can't really go wrong.
All right, you guys, so that is it for our DIY clay projects. I hope you got a little bit inspired by one of these. I am so happy with how every single thing came out. I feel like I can't really pick a favorite. If you guys have one you think you're gonna try, definitely let me know in the comments. I love doing DIY, but like I've said in my last couple videos, I'm still trying to figure out what kind of things you guys are into, if it's more hauls, DIYs, things like that. So definitely let me know if this is something you guys like, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.